Manel Kape, and today for my first video, I'm going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 103, Kape versus Almabayev. Great card. I know it's an Apex card, but lots of great fights on here. Lots of entertaining fights that maybe aren't the most hyped. Maybe they aren't people's favorite fighters. Maybe it's not the biggest stars, but they're going to be bangers. And we're going to start off Charles Johnson versus Ramzan Tamirov. Early on in the week, Ramzan Tamirov was an underdog in this one. I think the odds were right about flipped. He was plus 100. Charles Johnson was minus 120. But as we got later on in the week, he ended up being a favorite, and I think he should be a favorite. I have Tamirov winning this one by 29-28 decision, but I could see him catching Johnson and putting him out. Charles Johnson in his fight with Joshua Van, I think he lost round 2. And in round 2, Van was hitting him with some shots. Van was hitting him with some really good right hooks, left hooks. And guess what we saw in Tamirov's start to his UFC career versus CJ Vergara? That right hook is powerful, and it is money. And if he hits Charles Johnson with those same left hooks and right hooks that Joshua Van was catching him with, he's putting him out. And maybe he's not putting him out, but he's doing a lot more damage than Joshua Van's little pitter-pat punches, little pillow hand punches would do to Charles Johnson. And I could see Tamirov getting this done by a first, second round KO, but I think Johnson's really tough. He has a good chin. He's a vet. He's crafty, and I think he's going to survive. And I think he's going to make it to a 29-28. Where I think Tamirov's going to win round 1 and round 2 pretty clearly. And then Johnson's going to rally in round 3, but it's just not going to be enough. And Tamirov's going to get it done. Next fight, Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. Don't bet on this fight. Why are these... Why is this on the card? You all know the shtick. Women's MMA should be its own promotion. But I have to predict it. I'm going to go with Luana Carolina. I look at her. She's Brazilian. I'm pretty sure she has a wife. She's going to be good at women's MMA. I don't even know if she has a wife, but I hope she does, because otherwise that's pretty prejudiced and I might get demonetized. And not as them making money off of this first video. Anyway, unrelated, but Luana Carolina's going to get this done. Brazilian woman, maybe in air quotes. And Montana De La Rosa doesn't seem like she's going to be good. Honestly, I don't care about any of these two fighters. Don't bet on this one. I'm not going to give you any betting suggestions. Don't bet. We move on. Luana Carolina via a boring decision where she gets a few more strikes off and gets top control at the end of rounds and wins because it's women's MMA. Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva. This is going to be my first underdog pick of the night. I'm going with Lucas Almeida. Danny Silva's good. He's a good, solid prospect. He's well-rounded, but I think Lucas Almeida is just a big step up from what he's been facing. And Lucas Almeida has knockout power. He has high volume, and his offensive pressure is pretty good. And I think his experience is going to be the difference in this fight. Even though I could see Silva wrestling his way to a decision, I think he's going to be able to deny just enough takedowns from Danny Silva to get this done by maybe a second-round KO, a third-round KO. Or I could see him winning a close decision. But honestly, if this goes to decision, I see Danny Silva pulling it off. But I think Almeida can get it done in the second round by TKO. Next fight, another one. Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldrich. This card's interesting. There's one good fight, then a break. Then another good fight, then a break. But I'm going to go with JJ Aldrich by boring decision. I really don't care. These two should not be in the UFC. They should be cut. They should be sent to the GFL, PFL. Honestly, get them on LFA. They don't even deserve the GFL. And the loser of this is honestly definitely going to get cut. I think they both have losing records in the UFC. But I think JJ Aldrich is going to pull this off by boring decision, or she gets top control now and again, and it's boring and nobody cares, and you use that as to take a break. Don't watch this. Go spend time with your family. Go live your life. Don't watch this shit. It's going to be horrible. Next one. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. Now, this one's an interesting one. Doug Silva de Andrade's a veteran, and John Castaneda's newer. He's not incredibly young, but I think probably John Castaneda's going to get this done. This is one of those ones where you have the prospect... And, John Castaneda's hittable. This one's tough. This one's a close one. And these odds are crazy to me. I think the odds should be way closer. But I think Castaneda's going to win the grappling exchanges. He's going to, maybe get a 29-28 decision. And I don't think that he's going to be able to really hurt Douglas Silva Andrade too bad. And his experience for Andrade, man, this is tough. But I think I'm going to go with John Castaneda via a close decision. Honestly, I like Silva Andrade as an underdog pick here. I think he has a pretty good shot at winning. I think he can pull it off, maybe get like a second round KO. But my official prediction is going to be John Castaneda, locking it in. Next fight. Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. I think Chepe Mariscal is going to get this done by decision. I mean, I think he's just going to wrestle him. He's going to use his pressure. He has great pressure. And he has good, decent boxing. And honestly, if it gets gritty, I think he's just going to pull it out. I'd say 30-27 on this one. And I just think Ricardo Ramos is the type of guy to pull a guillotine and spin the round on bottom. He's going to do stuff like that. And Chepe Mariscal is just going to get this one done. 30-27, dominant decision. Next fight is, if this would work. All right. Next fight is Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. I have Barlow by a first round KO. Sam Patterson, his hittable chin and is not good striking defense. And Barlow's powerful, man. Barlow has that one shot power. I know his last fight wasn't impressive. I know he missed weight. But I think he's going to get this one done with his speed. He's so fast for the division. I think he's going to knock out Sam Patterson. This is sort of another NPC prediction because the card starts to get good after these couple of fights. But I think Barlow's going to get this one done. First round KO. He looked great in his regional career. Even though his last fight wasn't as impressive, I just don't think Sam Patterson is very good. Now we get interesting. Haider Emil versus William Gomez. Haider Emil is entertaining. He swings for the fences. He has great fights. He gets first-round finishes. And William Gomez robbed Joe Anderson Berto last time out. He's not that good. But I think he's going to be able to wrestle, control, take Haider Emil's back. Not get a submission, but just take his back and stay there long enough to win the rounds. Do stuff like that in a way that's not very fun, not very damaging, not very entertaining. But I'm just going to get a 29-28 decision just by being a little better in the exchanges, getting control, not doing damage, but getting the judges' scorecards to go his way. 29-28, I could see this being a split decision, but I'm going to go William Gomez, 29-28 decision. Now, Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. This is where the card gets really good. Mario Pinto is talked about like he's the greatest thing we've seen ever. Like he's going to be the next Tom Aspinall. And Austin Lane is obese and proof that football players aren't good at MMA. If Joe Rogan says one more time that if the football players started playing MMA, they'd be this good or all this or all that, just show him Austin Lane as an example of why they wouldn't. Austin Lane gets chinned. He isn't good. His only path to victory is laying on top of you. And Mario Pinto's great takedown defense that he showed on the regional scene. Obviously, you didn't see much of him in his Contender Series win. Not much happened. He just KOs him right away. But I think Mario Pinto by a round 1 left hook KO, 2 ground and pound. Lock that one in. If you're going to bet on this, Mario Pinto round 1 KO is practically a lock. Unless Austin Lane lays on him. But I don't think Austin Lane's going to get the takedowns because Mario Pinto's athletic and not fat, even though they look pretty similarly fat in this picture, but he's more athletic than Austin Lane. So Mario Pinto first round KO. The next fight is going to be Nasrat Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovic, and this is where it gets great. First of all, why is this card on the Apex? UFC 313 prelims need help. Yasmin Lacindo is on the versus Lemos is on the main card. Send that to the early prelims. Have it open the early prelims. Put this on the 313 main card. Last time out, Haqparast went to absolute war with Gordon, and we all know the Ribovic-Zellhuber fight was probably fight of the year. It shouldn't have gone to Gaethje Holloway. Ribovic-Zellhuber deserved it, but whatever. I see both these guys have great chins, but there's a reason Ribovic is a favorite. Nasrat Haqparast was getting hit by shots against Jared Gordon, and Jared Gordon's good. Jared Gordon beat Paddy Pimblett, and we all know how good he is now. But I think if Jared Gordon hurts you in round 2 as badly as you hurt Haqparast, if Ribovic gets him hurt like that, I think he's just going to jump on him. And he's going to do what he did to Zellhuber. And I know he didn't get the finish against Zellhuber, but I don't think Haqparast is just going to have the toughness to be able to hold on as long as Zellhuber did, to do the weaving, the rolling with the shots that Zellhuber did. And I think realistically, Ribovic is going to get this done via round 3 KO. I could see Haqparast making it to like a 29-28 decision, but the official pick is round 3 KO, Esteban Rivovic to get the win. And after this, we have Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez, if this would load. There we are. Cody Brundage, Julian Marquez. Cody Brundage sucks. Cody Brundage just isn't good at MMA. I have no clue how he's in the UFC. Honestly, it's outlandish. The type of fighters that they have just there. You're telling me Cody Brundage can be in the UFC, but we can't get Paul Hughes? It's absurd, but that's beyond the point. Marquez is going to get this done via second round KO. Brundage is going to get cut from the UFC, and he should have been cut from the UFC 2 years ago. He really hasn't gotten any impressive wins. He won by DQ. Last fight was a no contest. That Bo Nickel performance was horrible. And it's crazy to me that he's fighting Julian Marquez 2 fights after being on the main card of UFC 300, which was supposed to be the biggest card ever. And UFC 300 was great. But I still don't know why Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage were on the main card. Anyway, Julian Marquez, round 2 KO. Cody Brundage sucks, man. Cody Brundage should not be in the UFC. Man, I was watching Cody Brundage film to get ready for this video, and every fight I watch, I'm like, man, this guy just sucks. Pulls guillotine in the bottom position, stays there for a round against Cedric Dumas, does nothing all fight, just lets Cedric Dumas lay on him for round 1 and round 2. I mean, he's just not good, and he should be cut from the UFC ASAP. And the last fight on the card, this is going to be an incredible fight. Man, Asu Almabayev is really underrated. I think the odds here are really tasty for Asu Almabayev, even though I'm a huge Manel Kape guy. I think he's going to get it done. But I think at plus 190, if I was to bet on this fight, I'd be betting on Almabayev. I just think those odds are so tasty. His wrestling entries are incredible. And to be honest with you, so is Manel Kape's takedown defense. So it's sort of like an immovable object versus unstoppable force type situation. But I think Manel Kape's going to get enough takedown denials. He might get controlled here and there. He might get taken down, but he'll get right back up like he did versus Muhammad Makayev. I could see him using those similar elbows from bottom position to the ones he did against Makayev in round 3. If you guys remember, those were great elbows. I could see him using that against Almabayev. But Almabayev is better than Makayev. I'm going to be honest. Like, Makayev isn't that good. I think Manel Kape beat Makayev. I don't think Makayev should be back in the UFC. I think Almabayev is the real Muhammad Makayev. He's the one that actually is the guy who can probably beat Alejandro Pantoja. It might be Almabayev because I think he can out-scramble him. And he's good on the feet too. This is a great fighter. This can be an incredible fight. If it was Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval, I'd be more behind Manel Kape because of the fact that Brandon Royval doesn't mix it up as much as Almabayev does. And I could see the threat of the takedown making Manel Kape hesitant in a similar way that he was against Makayev. If you guys remember, he didn't really throw many punches because he was so scared of Makayev's takedowns. And I could see Almabayev having a similar effect on Manel Kape, but I think Manel Kape's going to get this done like 48-47. Even though I could see this being like a split decision. What do you value, the takedowns versus the few strikes that Manel Kape lands? But this is going to be a great fight. I'm really excited for it. My official prediction is going to be Manel Kape 48-47. But if you're going to bet on this fight, either put Manel Kape in a parlay or do a Almabayev in a straight bet. It's for the odds. He's a great underdog to pick. But I think Manel Kape's going to get this done, and he's going to get the rematch versus Pantoja. And I think he beats Pantoja if he gets there. I think either of these guys, to be honest, could beat Pantoja. But I think Manel Kape can get it done. I really hope honestly, I hope the Kai France fight doesn't happen. Manel Kape goes out there, beats Almabayev. Quick turnaround, get him in there against Pantoja. But we'll see. Official prediction, 48-47 Manel Kape. And this is going to be the end of my first video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Check out my Twitter. Check out my Instagram. And hopefully this channel turns into something eventually. But we'll see. Thank you for watching.